Okay, here we are.
Yes, we are live again
Back in action.
after another 1 week break from broadcasting. Um, Sometimes things happen in life, and we just have to take a break. But you have to remember that it's important to get back on track. So that's why we are coming back on track, and we keep on broadcasting for you every Wednesday, 9:30 Central European time. Zane, how are you doing? How was your trip back home? Did you enjoy your time with family?
Yeah, trip home was really good. I definitely, uh, I think 3 weeks was a really good time to be home and also get some time to sort of just relax and do some stuff, meet some friends, go out with family. So yeah, it was really good. I do miss those 3 weeks, but yeah, the next thing is just like, you know what, let's work on getting more of those 3 weeks
And
feeling
you mentioned to me that it was the first time you went home since
since COVID.
since the beginning of COVID, right?
Yeah, so I've not seen my family and friends in person for a bit more than 2 years,
Yeah.
which is crazy actually to think about it.
Yeah, so if someone is complaining about their situation when it comes to, I don't know, not seeing their friends or family often, and maybe going through hardship because of that thing, if it's 1 month, 2 months, don't worry. Like it's worse for Zane. So it was
Yeah,
worse
and
for Zane. Now
it
it's
was
better because he went there. He met with them. So
exactly,
um,
but you know what? We need to jump into the topic. But
yeah.
one thing that I told my when I mentioned to my parents to say that I might start to go back and see them twice a year moving forward, and we're just thinking, yeah, why not? Because COVID has proven that money can't be everything. Even if you have lots of money to buy a first class ticket to fly somewhere, regulation thing says no, you can't go anywhere, so your money doesn't mean anything. So yeah, that's why now I'm just thinking like, you know what? Whenever you can do something, you should always try your best to do it because never say never. Anything could happen that stops you from doing anything, even if you have a lot of money. So yeah, that's one thing that I've learned.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So today we will talk about overestimation and underestimation when it comes to planning and setting goals, both in business and life,
Mm.
in being entrepreneur, in being hustler, in sports. So I guess it would for the let's say vitality of this discussion. I would like to set planning and goal setting apart, because I guess these are two different, let's say, uh, of course, like planning is important for to reach our goals, but when it comes to the process of it, I guess it's better to, but for this discussion it's better to set them apart.
Mm.
uh, so why, I just want to justify why this topic, because I was the ideator of this topic. So
Yeah.
recently, I'm not reading, but I'm listening to the audiobook from Grant Cardone, very successful entrepreneur,
Oh, which one?
hustler, 10x rules.
10x. Yeah, 10x.
So, very successful entrepreneur, a hustler, sales consultant, trainer, coach, real estate
Entrepreneur.
magnate. Like, this guy is I think his areas of expertise is sales, like
Mm.
overall,
Mm.
and
Mm.
also real estate. So.
Mm.
Uh, so these are his areas of operation, and the 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 basic idea of 10x rule is to to assume that whatever you are doing, whatever goal that you are trying to achieve, uh, will
10x it.
require 10x effort. That's one side. So 10x effort from you than you initially planned. So, but at the same time, he believes, he conveys his message in such a way that if you are aiming to make a sale of, let's say, $1,000, right, then actually you can make a sale of $10,000, and you will put the same amount of effort. But he but the thing is that most often people underestimate the amount of effort that they will have to put in into certain action to achieve their goals. So it's like there are two sides of this, let's say, medal, right? So one of this is that instead of that, uh, you underestimate the effort, but at the same time you underestimate your potential. So that's I guess two things that you need to realize when it comes to 10x rule.
Mm.
Did you happen to listen to this book, or to this audiobook, or read it?
So I have the electronic version of the book. I've not read it yet, but I have
Okay.
attended the growth conference that Grant Cardone did, which was virtual. I didn't go there in person, but it
Okay.
was
Yeah.
virtual. He did like a deal, so I think it's like 3 days, and then it was like $99, and then they give you the recording, etc. It was a really good deal. They give you the recording for like past couple of years, and then the people that they get. I think the recent one that I attended this year, actually, it was just a few months back. His first guest who went on stage was Donald Trump,
No.
and yeah, his guest was Donald Trump, and then they were talking about business, they're talking about everything, and it was really amazing. It's just like it is a very great experience and environment. And then he interviewed like Tommy Hilfiger, as in the founder of Tommy Hilfiger. So
Yeah.
it was really good to see the 10x rule in real life. So that's how I come across him.
Like, actually, I because I follow him on Instagram, I
Mm,
noticed that for his conferences, very often he invites, let's say, people who would not who are very famous, and you wouldn't think of them in categories of, a guidance for achieving success, right?
mm,
So he's inviting people like, I don't know, Floyd Mayweather,
correct.
world world champion in boxing, right?
Mm,
So you wouldn't think that, okay, what this guy is telling me is irrelevant for me because I'm doing business or whatever
mm,
else, right?
mm, mm.
Or maybe he's inviting DJ Khaled, like,
Yeah,
that's also random. But at the same time, he's got the right point. Like, these guys are like the best in whatever they are doing, right?
correct,
So
correct.
so actually, it makes sense to invite them. But going more specific into our topic.
Mm,
So the truth is that Grant Cardone, he doesn't use the word overestimation in conveying his message when it comes to 10x rule, but I guess I would use this phrase, overestimation. Like, like how I understand it is that it's even better to do, let's say, more, to give more effort, because then you will make sure that you will achieve your goals, right, instead of
mm,
underestimating and not achieving your goals, or maybe just achieving 10% of them,
mm,
and stuff like that, right?
mm,
When it comes to myself, I guess I'm also like, I prefer to overestimate things, like overestimate the like uh it's hard for me to I'm still learning to overestimate when it comes to planning and effort and money, but I'm very good with overestimating. So overestimation when it comes to setting my goals. I always set my goals too high, and sometimes of not sometimes, but very often it causes disappointment to some extent.
Mm.
But at the same time, I believe that if it wasn't for it, then I would probably didn't achieve anything. So let's say if I say, let's say for my for a month that I'm aiming to close, I don't know, five new clients, right? And then in the end I close only one. And
Mm.
of course it's a bit disappointing that I closed only one out of the five that I was aiming for. But
Mm.
at the same time, I at least closed one, because probably I underestimated the amount of effort. So then, you know, in the end, I made it to close one client, because like the effort was maybe not enough, but because not enough for five clients, but it was enough for one client. So it's a bit mixed up, but that's how I feel. I'm not saying that's the right way. I would say the right way is to overestimate your goals, and overestimate the planning, the effort, because
Mm.
then in the end you might end up realizing that actually I didn't overestimate my effort, or I didn't overestimate my goals. Actually, I put the right amount of effort into reaching my goals, and I set my goals at the right level, right?
Mm.
So actually that's the level that's achievable.
Mm. Yeah,
uh, because underestimation will lead to no progress at all, I would say. So
yeah,
if we underestimate our goals, then we will also underestimate our effort, and in the end we will not do any move forward,
yeah.
uh, but but uh, but at the same time I want to say that uh, don't be disappointed if you realize that you are underestimating it in the beginning, because
Mm.
I believe that everyone is underestimating in the belief in their beginning, because I was underestimating in the beginning, and I've learned that I underestimated greatly. uh, but it's part of learning process,
It is.
someone might tell you that, okay, actually you will have to work more and more and more and more and more, but actually you have to realize it yourself, because if you start working, uh because like if you just start working uh a lot just for the sake of working, let's say, instead of working towards the right goal, instead of working in a smart way as well, then you might end up wasting loads of time and learning very little. That's
Mm.
how I feel.
Mm.
So
Yeah, what you're uh I agree, like what we're basically saying is that you need to whatever you imagine yourself doing, you can always do a much bigger goal and a much bigger thing, right? Like the example that I can think of was that when I was trying to sell the investment coaching program that I've got to people, that one per unit price is, I think at that time it's about $1,200, right? And I was thinking, oh my god, no, I won't pay $1,200, and no. And I go, should I low? Should I? The first thought I go is that's too expensive. Should I lower the price? How can I charge that much, etc., etc. But when the mindset is there, and then you go, you know what? My focus should not be to lower it down so that I feel okay about selling a lower price product. It should be about how can I demonstrate the value so that the $1,200 justify itself. So yeah, eventually I made it happen. And but that also took 3 years. It wasn't the idea of always wanting to start something was there. It just never happened because I wasn't able to get out of that mindset.
but
But
but but don't you think that you probably underestimated the number of people who would be actually interested in your product? That
mm,
probably you could have sold
much
twice as
more.
many, tripled
Yeah,
at that many that
yeah.
you actually sold.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So at that time, it was just because I've got a tiny group of, I don't know, 30 people or whatever. Obviously, my close number eventually was like 14 people. So it's just under 50%. So that's great. But you're absolutely right, which is I've done that now. I think, oh wow, there's people who want it. All I need to do next is to find more people like them to be able to do it and then be able to achieve and deliver the results. I think is the most it's the most important thing. So you're absolutely right. So yeah, next step I have to work on is how many more people, how much more can I scale products like this? What infrastructure do I need? All those kind of things. But this happened first, then I need to work on the next. So obviously that's almost like an extension of it. So, next one would be, can I get to 100 people? Then 100 people who pays $1,200 each is 1.2 million. I think people always think about numbers, etc. But if I can do it for 10, if I can 10x the number of people who buy it, then that is 1.2 million, right? So that is a lot of money, and I think that's how people should think about how do you break down those numbers to achieve the results that you want. And then when you got your million, you think about 5 million and blah, blah, all of those things. Um, so yeah, uh, but what I
I'm
want. Mm,
I I just want to give another remark when it comes to planning and setting goals, because like setting, I would rather uh, I would say that that's important thing about planning and setting goals is also like the sequence. So in my case, the sequence that works is that you set the goal first, and then you dissect it into what do I need to do, what do I need to complete to achieve that goal,
mm,
and go um, super specific, I would say.
mm,
So coming from my example, if I want to sell my services, my
mm,
products, right? Then let's say I want to get one client. So then I think, how many clients do I need to call?
mm,
So how many times will I have to follow up with them?
mm,
How many clients do I need to send email to?
mm,
How many follow-up emails I will have to send? I will
mm,
have to send. How many people I will have to contact on LinkedIn? How many people I will have to message on LinkedIn, etc., etc. And maybe overestimated here. So
mm,
so don't overestimate the amount of effort. Don't overestimate your success rate, I would say. So if you say that my success rate will be like, I don't know,
80%.
no, maybe not success rate, but I want to get, I don't know, five guys from five, I want to get five clients from cold calls, right? And you think, okay, 5% is not, you think that, okay, 5%, it's not such a big, number when it comes to success rate with cold calling. But
Mm,
actually it is.
mm,
I'm telling you, like, the honest estimation would be like 2-3%. So
mm,
actually you will have to contact 200 companies to get five clients from cold calling. So
mm,
think of how many cold calls you will have to make, but not only one cold call per company. Very often you will have to follow them up, so you will
Mm,
have to take you will have to make loads of cold calls.
mm. It's not a one-time thing, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, like like planning and setting goals is always a very interesting concept for me. I know it's important. People always talk about goal setting, but I don't know. I never really. I think I always have a vague, big direction I want to go, but I'm just not very good at just like writing them down to say by this I have to do this, by which I have to do that, by this I have to do that. I don't know whether everyone works it differently. I just never.
But at the same time, you cannot be strict when it comes to planning,
Mm,
because there will be definitely something that will surprise you,
mm.
and you need to
Oh,
be
completely.
flexible at that point, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just that I guess what I'm trying to say is that everyone does it differently. I guess what we're trying to say here is the principles, right? It's
Yeah.
like no matter how you do it, physically or whatever, but it's like when you set something, it's like, can you do more? Like, why there? Why not more? It's a bit like salary. I think I remember I read a survey or somewhere where people say to them, how much money do you think if you earn in a year would make you really happy? And or would make you go that life is sorted. Apparently, the survey results is always almost about three times someone else's current salary. So, for example, if you're earning, I don't know, $50,000, then $150,000, you'll be like, great. Or people, most people also give the answer of 1 million. It's like, I don't know why 1 million. Why?
because
Why 1 million?
because loads of people are, maybe not in probably not in all cultures, but most of the cultures, like Western cultures, they say 1 million because it's
Yeah,
like a nice round number. And fun and funny thing here is that people think that if they have 1 million, then they are a millionaire. But actually, the I know that I've heard it somewhere that actually you would have to have a net worth of three, at least 3 or 5 millions to be actually acknowledged by, I don't know, someone as a millionaire. but
yeah.
but at the same time, you, even if you have this kind of money, do you really care about being acknowledged as a millionaire, or do you want to be acknowledged as you? Do you want to be viewed through through the angle of money you have, or
Don't
do you
know.
want to be viewed through the angle of, I don't know, input you make in your society,
True.
in your circle, the way maybe, or the way how you
Make the money.
make people feel about you,
Mm,
right?
yeah, yeah. That's true. That is so true.
So I guess this is like, I- just like this is the I think that this is that old people thinking, in terms of
Yeah.
like, this guy is a millionaire, this guy is a very successful business owner, whatever. Like, okay, it's good to be millionaire, it's good to be a successful business owner, but actually there are other qualities that uh, you should I don't know,
The intangibles that you should also set
show
goals
to
for, right?
others to be recognized for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit like we always talk about setting goals for things that are measurable, but we never set goals for the things that are not. Like your how respected are you? How happy are you? How uh energized are you? Or things like
how
that.
how healthy is your family?
How
How
healthy.
happy is your family? How much in love are you with a person
Exactly.
that you are in a relationship with?
Exactly. We should also measure those things, right? You should set goals and plan for those things to happen. And if anything, those needs even more estimation to make sure that more joy, more happiness, more health, etc. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
we we went a bit off track, but I guess it was interesting and valuable discussion.
It
Thank you
was,
to all the people who are watching us tonight,
yeah.
and who are listening to it on Spotify or other podcast platforms. If you want to find more content like this one, please follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other places. Um, I believe we produced over 50 episodes already, so
Oh yeah, definitely.
loads of content. I'm not saying that all of them are great, but I guess you can find some gems there. Like I
Yeah,
guess you can definitely find some gems there. So
definitely,
I
definitely.
encourage you to look through our, let's say, catalog of recordings of video and audio recordings.
Mm.
So that's it for tonight. Good night, everyone, and speak to you next Wednesday.